Really nice to be here. And it's really nice that I heard earlier today, Anne and Sanna both used the term reasonable, so that the wolf policy in Finland is not reasonable and it should be more that.
Large carnivores, not just wolves.
Sorry?
Not just wolves, but large carnivores.
Large carnivore policy, absolutely. But here I'm focusing on the wolf. And I would say that it's also my quest to try to figure out how to, from researcher point of view, I'm a policy scientist. From the policy scientist point of view, what is the matter in Finnish wolf policy and how to fix it, if it's fixable? That's my humble aim in my work. And before, And it also concerns Finnish society and let's say wildlife administration, this quest for reasonable. Think about EU or Commission Finnish wildlife policy interface. So how 2001 Finland was, or Commission started infringement procedure with the Finnish, because of Finnish wolf policy. It seemed that it does not go according to the rules in Habitat Directive. So from that on, so almost like 14 years has passed and Finland has tried to improve the policy. And as the figures tell, it has been a bumpy road. There might be some success in wolf policy, and it may be that it's only a temporary thing. Mari already mentioned this first wolf management plan, which was done it was published in 2005, and during the process, Finnish wolf population increased quite, let's say, dramatically, and after that it came down, and there we are still. And a couple of years back, the Wildlife Administration started to acknowledge the fact that the management plan must or should be updated. And it was 2014 when we started this updating process, and I was happy to be involved in that with the team from Finnish Natural Resources Institute. Matti Salo and Jani Pellikka, and Mikael Luomo was the person who ran it from the Wildlife Agency. So yeah, that was the brief history, and let's see what I have here. And bear with me, I'm a social scientist, I have few concepts, but I was happy to notice that Mari also had quite many of those. But I have only 3 concepts which are more important to me. This is just to mention the web page or blog page of previous academic project, trying to tackle with large carnivore issues, but focusing on wolf. So, okay. And I don't know too much about reindeer herding area and the large carnivore details in here. What I'm here focusing more on is southern Finland. And now, as you see, what the Finnish government and administration have done in the face of, let's say, failing wolf policy, has these items, which are normal items in policy, have they helped to live with the wolf or coexistence? Regulation, information, and economic incentives? Not much. Mari mentioned already those institutional adjustments that have taken place, and the wolf population did not increase. So those adjustments didn't do the work, at least in short term. It may be that they start function like this category of severe hunting crime. They may start working in time, but anyway, not yet. So regulation hasn't done the work. Information. Ilpo Koijola has done massive pile of work about the wolf and habits of the wolf and and blah blah. And Antti Härkälä is doing that in practice, delivering information about the wolf. No, nothing really has changed. That's my opinion as I'm standing here. And economic incentives. Thinking about the southern Finland, annual damages about 100,000 euros per year caused by the wolf. that to some years that's a lot of money, and to some years that's not that much. So, and thinking about the economic situation of Finnish government now, or the state, are there more money coming or flowing into wolf policy and damage compensation in southern Finland? I'm not quite sure. So something else has to be done. And this has to be, you use the word consultation, participation, whatever word you use, it has to be bottom up. And this is something also that Finnish wildlife administration noticed. They, as these three upper bullets showed, or the consequences of these adjustments showed that it didn't work. They didn't improve the coexistence. Something else has to be done. So they started to look, administration started to look at the territory level, what's happening there. And also people living with the wolf started to demand some powers. So here are the three concepts: habits, transactions, ecostructure. I'm just saying with this habit thing that we have to change our habits of mind in order to get the coexistence going. And it's not only the hatred of people living with the wolf, but it's also the routines of administration. To a certain extent, law is habit as well. So just formalized habit. And transaction. Okay, I'll come to this later because this is something that what we did on a territory level last year. An ecostructure, there are people who use the word social ecological system or something, but we use the word ecostructure. Let's say it's a territory. There's economic things, ecological things, people doing their living, and the wolf. So it's an ecostructure. Okay, I will skip this. This concept is more important. What people are asking for, and this is also one of the Mari's point, rights. Mari talked about property rights, ownership to the wolf. But that's the thing, the rights are the thing people are asking for. It's also the case here. More rights to do something, more rights to exercise livelihoods. And it's about shifting rights, emerging rights, new rights, and waning older rights. It's the game, it's a power game that we did on the territory level last year. How to create new rights and how to maintain good ones that do their work, which are fair, so to speak, and how to transfer rights, how to negotiate, and how to make things better. Okay. And this was also the purpose of our academic project, and it was also purpose in our process of updating the wolf management plan. How to modify lives on territory level in southern Finland, mostly, in order to improve the coexistence. What to do there in practice? What to change? And yeah, okay, I will show you some of that. Okay, last year it was a Finnish Wildlife Agency and Natural Resources Institute, meaning Matti Salo, Jani Pelikan, me, Mikael Vuoma from Finnish Wildlife Agency. So what we did first, we created a set for e-deliberation. We opened up 5 forums for people to start arguing about the wolf. What is the problem? And why it's a problem? And how to solve that? That was the 3 simple questions that people argued about. And we had 20,000 visitors, 500,000 clicks, 100 active discussions on the web. And it was open for everybody. And you have to register there by your name. We have certain rules. No hate speech. No anything of that kind. Just constructive discussion on issues. And then simultaneously with that, we have the National Wolf Survey. We try to come up with, because there are a lot of voices on territory level saying that we don't like the wolf, we just hate it, we. Who is this we? So that's why we made this national survey, in order to see, are people on wolf territory that different from the other people? And if they are, to what extent and where? So yeah, we did that. Feelings, morals and preparedness to act. That was our purpose. What are you willing to do? Or are you willing to pay for those who suffer losses? And then after these we have series of workshops. In southern Finland 10 and one in reindeer herding area. And in these, those were on territory levels as you see, and very practical group works. We called local people to join us. 20 people from each territory area. No regional players, no national players, but people living on the wolf territory, different players. And John was asking for environmentalists' stance, and are they silent and why those are not taken. In these workshops we had not environmentalists, but those were local level environmentalists and very much aligned with this working and set of ideas that in general was discussed. So there was not this binary, you conservationists, we others, but people were just trying to solve the problem. That was our purpose. How to modify territory level living. Yeah. And then in these workings, I don't go into detail how we did it, but anyway, we got 375 items concerning what to be done with the wolf. What should be and what must be done. And then when people were gathered together to small groups, these items were reduced to 100. So we have 100 things to do. And then later we wrote of those 59 were written into actual management plan. And I would say that none of these are neglected, bit modified by sentences and ideas, but were taken in. And also here some plus 10 projects, with which these are done. And in the final management plan, we have 9 projects. So pretty much what these people did on territory level was written in management plan, in actual plan. And that's why I said that in these transactions, rights are oikeudet, rights are created and maintained and changed. This was what happened, because what those people did on ground level was written for this national policy document. Just a few words. What kind of modifications? If we have 59 modifications, some of them, of course, were permissive. That something has to be allowed now, which has been forbidden until now. Yeah, it has to do with rights, managerial hunting of the wolf. That was something, and then removal of the wolf dog hybrids. Facilitative modifications. We should have collaborative territory group or territory group doing some sort of decisions and plans on territory level. And that was written, and that's actually ongoing already. And this is actually ongoing already. This became 2-year test, policy test, and now 1 year is behind, and next year it will be done again. Inducing, preventing measures and damage compensation. These should be, because they are not perfect yet, as we heard from Sweden. Epistemic, updating the TASU system, our formal
track record system, continuation GPS coloring, and blah blah blah. DNA scat monitoring. This was not created in these workshops, but became prior of these workshops. But the idea was a local one, coming from southwestern Finland, and persuasive and injunctive. More surveillance. Also, people on territory level agreed that more surveillance must be there, or in right place. Okay, now just a few words. How this might work? I think that for the first time, focus was on the same level. Before, administration talked about national level favorable conservation status of the wolf. But now the shift was on if the wolf pack has all offspring continuously, year after year. It seems that this pack or territory is doing fine. And the same was the opinion of the local people then. So the focus is on the same thing, which really much helps to think and focus on the same thing. Yeah, managerial hunting. All right, that really changes the way people see the wolf. Trophy hunting, maybe, as we wrote here. So it really changed the way to think about the wolf and where it's living and the conservation issues. And this is not just a lip service, but it's really so. And to squeeze these two bullets into main point. In order managerial hunting to be possible, this TASSU system and all these information gathering systems and these volunteer large carnivore contact persons, everyone should be active and honest and reliable doing their work. If they are acting in such manner, managerial hunting would be possible, which again feeds into this positive feeling and doing. So this new setting that we created requires collaboration. It cannot do without. It's like a golden eagle protection scheme up here. It's kind of requires that reindeer herders, Metsähallitus, and some bird activists do collaboration. So this is collaboration becomes voluntarily necessary. And habits of feeling. It's just, a wolf becomes something slowly, but pretty surely, something which is not that bad after all. So there are mediators doing this. I won't go into detail, but mediators just, they help people live with the wolf emotionally. Like wolf being a game species and not the best. There's a real difference there. And now, John asked, we had a workshop 2 years ago. What did you ask? Did you get anything out of it, or did we had a workshop on nuts and wolf policy. Nutses, what are these nutses? And according to one definition, nutses are approaches that influence decisions while preserving the freedom of choice. You are free to do this or that, but you rather do that. You exercise your freedom, and the outcomes are collectively better, and they are perhaps better for you as well. Those are nutses. And those are hot topic of policy, policy adjustments at the time. At this time. So how to modify territory level life so that the hunters and other people who are there, they are just like they used to be, but things go smoother and the outcomes are better. And as we saw, I don't know what is the fact and what is the real cause behind, but 2014, as we did this process, wolf population size almost like doubled. Was it the bad winter? Was it the severe hunting crime? punitive processes that we are ongoing. But anyway, something happened. So what we are expecting, those things that we modified in these 10 or so territory areas, are they starting to function as nudges? That was our intention, that we managed to modify institutionally, socially, ecologically, whatever, administratively things in such a way that life becomes easier with the wolf. That was our purpose. And now in time we will see what happens. Yeah. Now in time we will see. And this is, I have said already, these are other things, but this, if these nudges, these modifications that improve our lives, if they appear, then those are co-designed by administration and people living on wolf territories, blah blah blah. Those are not designed by the mastermind from the government or from the Finnish Wildlife Agency. And you cannot really point your finger at who is charged of these modifications, which in the end work. But those are co-designed anyway. Okay. And I thank you.